Crafty Kate and I run a small crochet business. On this channel we talk all things yarn and crochet. Welcome to another designer spotlight video where I pick patterns from one designer and review them. This time the designer is Loops to Loveys, and I have made patterns from her before. The big goose that I make is from Loops to Loveys, so I know I love her patterns. This time I'm going to do all snugglers because she has several that I'm really excited about. So I have 3 different patterns that I'm going to make in this video. We have Manny the manatee, Rowan the river otter, and Waverly the walrus, and they are all pretty decent sized snugglers. And she says to use 2 different size hooks for the head and the body to make the body more flexible with a bigger hook. So I have my 6mm hook and my 7mm hook that I will be using. I am starting with Manny the manatee, and for this one, since each one is so big and they need so much of one color, I was a little bit limited on my options because I'm trying to get my stash down a little bit before we move, so I was a little bit limited. So for this one, I'm going to be using Elise Veludo in this pretty light blue color. This is color number 218. So the whole manatee will be this pretty blue color. And I did actually start the other night. I wanted a crochet project and wanted to get going on these huge things. So I did start already. I have the 2 little flippers done and I have the tail. Looking cute so far. And I started out with not a full skein, so I have this much left. I'm not sure exactly how much I started with, but I do have 2 more full skeins, so should be enough. She has the amounts in the pattern, so I am above that, so we should be good. And all 3 patterns say they are no sew, which is awesome. Really excited about that part. So I'm just going to keep going. We're going to build the body up from the tail and crochet these little flippers in. So I'm going to get going and I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, I'm almost to the point of attaching the flippers. I'm using, like I said, a 7mm hook. This is just a generic one I ordered off Amazon a couple weeks ago, and I hate it. I use clover hooks, and this is just not the same. This sticks out too far or is too pointy or something. I keep catching it on the stitches. It's driving me crazy. So Amazon is actually almost here with a clover 7mm hook. They are plastic, which is why I avoided it, but I need it. So I'm gonna take a little break until they get here, and then we'll start again with a clover hook and hopefully go a little faster. With it catching in the stitches, it's really bothering my thumb. So I'll see you as soon as that hook gets here. Okay, here it is. I am so excited to have this. I should have spent the money and got this the first time. So let's see. Definitely doesn't stick out as far. It's nice and warm from being outside. So I'm gonna start working on this, get the flippers attached. Look how big this thing is. It is so soft though with Elise Veludo. So I'm going to get the flippers made, and then I think we're almost done with the body, and then we will make the head and crochet the body into the head. So almost done. I have the body done. Absolutely massive, but so soft and cozy. I'm thinking I'm going to do embroidered eyes on all of these just because it is a very baby focused make with the snuggler body and all that stuff. So embroidered eyes for these ones, but I do want to say it is crazy what a difference this thing made. It is so smooth going through the yarn. This thing just, I mean, it's smooth, but it just catches on everything. Awful. This is amazing. So happy with this. Excited to have it for the other two makes. So all we have left for this one is the head. Like I said, I'm going to embroider the eyes, and we do crochet the body into the head, so it's all no-sew. So I'm going to do that, and hopefully we can get this guy done soon. I have used up my second skein of yarn. This is all I have left of the second skein. Like I said, the first skein was not a full skein, so just keep that in mind. And then here is his adorable little face. I just embroidered the eyes. He is looking so cute. I just love the shaping she has here. This is really cool. It works up really quick and easy and just kind of does it all itself. And then I'm sure you stuff it to shape it. And then it looks like there's a little bit of face shaping at the end. We'll see if I can make that work with my embroidered eyes. But he is looking absolutely adorable so far. He's going to be so cute. We're almost done. Okay, I just finished the manatee and he is adorable. So here he is. Look at his sweet face. So I was able to make the face shaping work. So what I did with, she does have a video tutorial. I didn't watch it because I read it after and I had already messed it up. She said if you're embroidering eyes, you should do the face shaping first, which makes sense because what I struggle with is the eyes get pinched by the face shaping. So if you're going to embroider, do it her way. But I had already embroidered mine and then I read that. So what I did, instead of shaping over the top of the eye like most people do, I just did right below on both sides. So it sunk them in from the bottom. And I think that makes the eyes not only not pinch, but it also kind of makes them pop a little bit. So I think that's perfect for what I had done already. But yeah, I was originally thinking the head was looking a little bit small, but once I stuffed it, it kind of filled out and looks like it's the right size. And I love that he can sit forward like this or up like this. He is absolutely adorable. And like I said, this is completely no-sew, which is awesome. So that is the first make. I highly recommend this pattern. It worked up really quick for how big it is. Obviously it's half double crochets, so it works up fast. You're using a bigger hook, so it's big, but it really didn't take too long. I didn't time myself, so sorry I don't have the exact number. I'll time myself on the next one now that I've done a pattern from her for the Lovey snuggler style. So maybe the walrus I'll time to see how long it takes since I've done one now. But yeah, love the pattern so much. And then as far as yarn usage, I have most of the third skein left. I only had like this much of the head to do with the third skein. So I think as long as you had like 2.5 skeins, you should be fine of Elise Voluto. These are 100-gram skeins. And yeah, again, I used a 6mm and a 7mm. So if you're using bigger hooks, you might need a little bit more yarn. I might have used less than what she said. But yeah, so I think for the rest of the night, I'm going to start the walrus. I might not film it just to give myself a break from all the filming. But I will definitely check in the morning before we get going on the fun part of the walrus. So I will see you tomorrow. Hello, it is the next day, and like I said, I did work on the walrus last night, so I have some updates for you. I wasn't going to make his head, but then I realized, I told you guys I was a little limited on color choices because I needed so many of a color to finish the whole thing. So this one I decided to go with Premier Basic Chenille in the chocolate brown, this caramel color, and winter white. And I only had a tiny ball of the caramel, so I needed to make sure I had enough. Otherwise, I was going to have to change my color scheme. So I made his little face just up until the color changes were done. So I had this much left, so it worked. So this is what we have for his face. Look how cute he's going to be. So I made his little tusks out of the winter white. And then obviously the caramel for the nose. And then this is his body color. So we're up that far into his head, and I stopped there. And then I made his two little front flippers. Very cute, very soft. And then I made one back flipper. This is really cool how she does this. So we make the other one, and then I believe we crochet them together and build up from there. So hopefully this doesn't take me too long. His body is big, just like the manatee, so it'll be a little bit of a project. But again, I'm using my 6mm and 7mm hooks, same as with Elise Veludo. So I'm going to get to work making the second tail fin, and then we'll build up the body. I have the little tail put together. I just undid a stitch, but it is looking so cute. So these are crocheted together, and they're made to kind of overlap like that. There does end up being quite a gap in between that you have to sew closed, which is pretty standard for crocheting legs together. So I have that all sewn together, and now we're just going to work straight up and make the body. Should be pretty simple. I also just remembered that yesterday I said I was going to time myself for the walrus, and I did not do that at all last night, so oops. So I will not have an accurate time for this one either, but maybe we can time the river otter, even though that one's a little bit different and has actual feet. Should still be similar to the size of these. So I'll try to remember to time the otter, but I'm going to get this guy, the body, finished up, and then I will check in. Okay, I just wanted to check in because I just ran out of my first skein of yarn. I don't believe this was a full skein, but it was pretty close. So this is where we are with the body, and then the 2 flippers, and then the little tiny bit on his face. So that was one skein of yarn, and then obviously I have a full second one, so we're good to go there. I have 2 rows to go before we add the flippers, and then I think the body is pretty much done, and then we'll finish up the head. So he is almost done, looking so cute, so soft and squishy. I love this color, so chocolatey. This one is called chocolate, so that fits. So I'm going to attach this second skein, get these flippers attached, and then I will check in. Okay, we are moving right along. I have the body all finished, the front flippers crocheted in. It's marked ready for the head. It's massive, but it really feels like it works up fast. I wish I had timed myself, but like I said, we'll try to time the otter, and that will give us an idea. But they really work up fast for how big they are, and how everything is no-sew. It's really nice. And I haven't had to move stitches much, other than I think I moved over 1 stitch to make the fins or flippers centered with the tail. But everything else seems to line up just perfect. So now we're going to finish up his little head, get it crocheted in. I will stop and embroider the eyes before we attach it, just because it's easier. And I think we should be close to doing that, but that is the plan. He is going to be so cute. I'm so excited. I just embroidered the eyes, and he is looking adorable. So I just have a couple rounds to close up the head and attach it to the body, and then we are pretty much done. I haven't scrolled down to see if there's face shaping on this one yet, but I will do that as well. So next time you see him, he should be all done. Okay, I just finished him, and he is even cuter than I was expecting. I am in love with him. Everything about him is just perfect. The way the little tusks get crocheted in and they stand up on their own. I did the shaping the same as I did for the manatee, where I just went underneath since I embroidered the eyes. It worked just fine. And he is massive and so adorable. Just look at his little face. Oh my gosh, so cute. I am in love with these patterns. And like I said, with the manatee, he can sit forward like this, lay on a bed with his cute little flippers back there. They are too fun. I think I'm going to start the otter today, so let me go grab that yarn. I'll show you my plan for that one, and I will definitely make sure I time myself. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it today. Hopefully we can get it all done tomorrow. This week is my birthday. My birthday is on Thursday when this video comes out, so I'm trying to get stuff done before then so I can enjoy that day with my family. But yeah, let me grab that yarn and I'll show you my plan for the otter. Okay, and before I forget, one more thing about the walrus. I always forget everything I'm supposed to say. This is the second skein of the brown that I started using, and I didn't quite use half of it. So I think if you had at least more than one skein, you should be fine. and maybe like a skein and a half-ish, a little less than that. It's hard to measure, but 2 skeins you'll be just fine for the walrus. And then for the otter, I'm going to use Elise Veludo. So I have 2 colors picked. I think she has 3 colors in the pattern, but I decided to just go with 2. There's like a nose color change and then toes. So this is going to be my main color for the otter. This is number 199, and then this is going to be my accent color, and this one is 310. So that's going to be my otter. I have a partial skein and then the full skein, and then I have one more full skein that I might need. I just didn't pull it. And then I have more of this too if we need it. I'll let you know how much of this I use as well. So that's the plan. I'm going to get started, and I'm going to time myself, and I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, I am 37 minutes into working on the otter. I'm not sure these little feet are a great time estimate for those guys because they didn't have back feet, especially the manatee. He just has the 2 front fins and then the round tail. So either way, so 37 minutes to make all 4 feet. So these are the back feet, cute little toes, and then these are the front feet, a little bit smaller. Hold them all up together. So cute. I'm loving the colors. So that's really the most complicated part of this pattern. Now we just build the body from the tail up and crochet these in as we go, and then you just make the head and crochet that into the body. So hopefully this is the longest part, but like I said with the others, the body is pretty big, so we'll just see how the time goes. But so far I love this pattern. I haven't had to change anything or move any of the bobbles for the toes. They all lined up perfectly, so that's always awesome. So I'm gonna get going on the body, and maybe we can finish this guy today. Hello, it is the next day again, and already almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I am struggling a bit with motivation today, but we don't have a ton left to do. So I worked on the little otter for 1 hour and 20 minutes yesterday, and this is how far I got. So the 1 hour and 20 is counting, making all of the little legs and feet. So we have the entire body done. So all we have to do is the head, and then it gets crocheted in. So this shouldn't take too long today, hopefully. But he is so squishy, soft, and giant, just like the rest of them. And I just love his little goofy little paws. And then he has his little back feet back here. So very cute so far. I am going to work on the head and get that done. So we have our 2 flat little skeins of yarn here, hoping to use up a bunch of that. So I will check in a little bit. Okay, we're up to 1 hour and 32 minutes, and I have the head up to this point, looking super goofy. I just love the way she does her shaping though. It shapes itself as you go. So now I'm going to embroider the eyes, and I'm going to add the little nose detail so I make sure everything is straight before I put it on the body. So this is the goofy little thing we have going here. I'm gonna do the eyes and then I will show you. I got the eyes embroidered, and I decided not to do the nose embroidery and the little mouth because it looks like it does some shaping, so I'm gonna want some stuffing in there. So I'm gonna wait on that. So now we just need to close up the head, and then we'll do all that fun embroidery. But I think the eyes turned out really cute. It's looking adorable and goofy at the same time. So let's get this guy all done. I have him almost done. The head is all closed up, and I embroidered the ears, or the nose, and I surface crocheted on the ears. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like before I do the face shaping with the eyes. You do cinch this a little bit to give him a little bit more pronounced cheeks. So now I'm going to pull these eyes in a little bit, and we'll see how he looks after that. But other than that, he is almost done. he is all done. So there is the face shaping. You can tell it really brings his face together, makes him look much cuter, less flat-faced. So here he is, he's giant. And so then if you lay him down, you can flip his little feet up. Too cute. This one doesn't sit quite as cute. I guess it's not bad that way. He's adorable. And then I did notice at the end of the pattern, she does have some modifications you can do to the feet to make them look a little less blocky, I guess. She has one with 4 little toes in more of a circle for the front feet. And I didn't realize that was there. Obviously, I didn't read the pattern very well, but I love the way his little feet look the way they are. So he is absolutely adorable. I did time myself for everything except embroidering the eyes because obviously that part is optional. So if you use safety eyes, it will be a little quicker. So I didn't time the eyes, but I timed everything else and it was 1 hour and 57 minutes total. So I do think all 3 of them took under 2 hours each, but it really just depends on how fast of a crocheter you are. I don't think I'm super fast, but everybody is different. And like I said, I used a 6mm and a 7mm hook. I had this much of the main color left, and then I didn't start with much, and obviously it doesn't use a ton, so I had this much left of that. They're definitely yarn eaters with all of the half double crochet stitches in all of them. So great stash busters if you're trying to get rid of some yarn and make some cuties. But I highly recommend her patterns. They work up really fast for how big they are, and they are all no-sew, all the ones I got at least. And like I said, I made the big goose from her as well, and I love that pattern. The clothes that it comes with and everything, just fantastic. So I absolutely adore all of these makes that I made. Here they all are. I'll try to hold them all together. Might be a bit of a handful. But they're all huge and so snuggly and so cute. So I think that brings us to the end of this video. Let's do an emoji for your favorite one from this video for making it all the way to the end. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you have any suggestions for designers I should do in the future. This was the last one I had planned, so I need some suggestions, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!